immediate.
Ask them now. Why they ask him, who is the presidency?
Now we know the presidency. Babachi Lawal finally gets the boot. NIA boss, are you okay? Also shown the door. President Muhammadu Buhari appoints boss Mustafa as new SGF. What's the outcome of the investigation? Story that's gotten everyone talking today. A big one for a Monday in Nigeria's politics. Babachi Lawal, that man you know too well, has been sacked and replaced with a chieftain of the APC. His name is Boss Mustafa. We're not calling him boss because he's going to be a boss, but that is his name, boss. We will give you details about the new SGF, but first, let's talk about the sacked one. The sacking of Babachi Lawal may not come to many as a shock. The SGF Babachi Lawal allegedly awarded first contract of about 220 million Nigerian naira, you heard well, for the removal of wild grass and the provision of 115 hectares of simplified village irrigation in Yobe State. And now how the company allegedly subsequently transferred the money into another firm, Roller Vision Engineering Limited, said to be owned by the same man. On the 4th of October 2016. Let's give you more insight onto what has happened. And the Senate kicks off an investigation on monies released to the presidential initiative on the Northeast and other corrupt practices concerning other agencies. On the 2nd of December 2016, the Senate ordered that Mr. Lawal, the SGF, to appear before its ad hoc committee on IDPs in Borno to answer questions regarding his involvement in the allegation of corruption. 12 days later, Senate called for Lawal's resignation and prosecution following the presentation of interim report of his ad hoc committee. And in 2017, precisely March, Lawal refused to appear before the Senate Committee on the Mounting Humanitarian Crisis in Northeast again. He claims that he has filed a suit challenging his summon. In April, President Buhari suspended Mr. Lawal and ordered an investigation into the allegations of violations of law and due process made against Lawal in the award of contract on that the presidential initiative on the Northeast Pine. A three-man committee comprising of the Vice President, Attorney General of the Federation, and National Security Advisor is set up to investigate the allegations and report within 2 weeks. Those are in April. And later that month, Babachi Lawal appeared before the Osinbajo-led committee. We also heard that he met with the Vice President, asked questions regarding the allegations. Lawal claims to come out unruffled. In August this year, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo submitted a report to the President after the President returned from a medical vacation in London. That's on the one hand, the issue of Mr. Babachi Lawal, who has been fired now. Everyone remembers the Ikoyi money, those monies in dollars, in foreign currency. You remember, right? Well, it is the over 13 billion uncovered by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission in an apartment in Ikoyi area of Lagos. The discovery of the huge money stacked in local and foreign currencies generated controversy, and its ownership became a big question. Are you okay? The then NIA boss name surfaced and has been investigated. So the president terminated his appointment as the agency boss. That's part of the statement released by the presidency today. And now, what next? Aside the recommendation of the sack, what else the Osinbajo-led committee report say? Let's get a benefit of what the presidency is doing on these and what more information we can get. Let's speak to the president's special advisor on media and publicity, Mr. FEMI Adesina, who joins us from our Abuja studio. Many thanks for joining us, Mr. Adesina, tonight on the program. There are a lot of questions on the table. But again, apart from the fact that these men have been sacked, what again do we know on this issue of the monies found in Ikoyi? Of course, is the presidency handing over Mr. Babachi Lawal to the agencies prosecuting?
Thank you. Good evening. Well, from your word, you asked, is the presidency handing over. It doesn't take the presidency to hand over. Rather, it takes the security agencies to do the proper thing, to follow up. The presidency does not interfere in the works of the security agencies. They know what they should do at any given time. So the onus is on them to do the next thing.
What more can you tell us about the report submitted by the Vice President's Committee? Now that it looks so much that things are coming to the open now.
Well, all I'll just say is that the President once again has shown himself to be a painstaking and a thorough person. Somebody who will ensure that the right thing is done at any given time. Somebody who does not play to the gallery. He got that report on August 23. It came in 6 volumes. Yes, there was an executive summary. But apart from that executive summary, like with a fine-tooth comb, we went through the main report. And today, we have got his conclusions about the report and the recommendations. It shows you that the meal of the gods, like they say, may grind slowly, but they grind finely.
You've still not told us what exactly is in that report. Can you tell Nigerians what that report contains, Mr. Adesina?
No. If you look at the statement that came today, which incidentally I signed, it tells you what was in that report. The statement says the President has accepted the recommendation of the panel to terminate the appointment of the then Secretary to the Government of the Federation. And then it also says the President has also accepted the recommendation to terminate the appointment of the erstwhile DG of NIA. And some other things will be done about NIA. There will be a 3-member panel to look into the operations of that agency. So it's already, the answer to the question you asked is already in the public domain.
As it stands now, I mean, we've heard what your party has said. Of course, the party said they believe the president could not have made a better choice of Mr. Mustafa, who they say is a competent lawyer and dedicated leader. But I'm very certain that you've heard what the PDP is saying on the other hand. The PDP said the sack of Babachi and Oke is totally unacceptable. We demand the immediate impeachment of President Buhari.
I wouldn't bother myself with what the PDP says. You know, the PDP is still reeling from the effect of that 2015 defeat. And it will reel from it for a long time. Because the PDP is down and is going to remain down for a long time to come in this country. So I don't bother myself with whatever they say.
It appears as a coincidence, but to a lot of people who are watching closely, the party leaders met today, then the president took a decision. In fact, some people are talking on the sideline that the president was pressured to take a decision on Babachi Lawal. Some people say that the president wasn't going to take any decision anyways.
Then they don't know the president. Anybody that knows this president will know that he's a man that takes his time. But when he makes up his mind, he makes it up real good. Who can pressure the president? This president has a mind of his own. There's nobody that can pressure him. I tell you as a statement of fact. And those that you said are the party leaders that met, they met with the president in the afternoon. The president had made up his mind and the statement was available earlier today. About midday it was available. And the party leaders hadn't met with him as at that time. I tell you, nobody pressures this president into doing anything.
The SERAP came out to say this government now has a real opportunity to reassure a lot of Nigerians who may be worried about the direction of travel of the president's anti-corruption agenda, that there will be no sacred cow as far as the fight against corruption is concerned. One main organizations are asking for is prosecution. Is the president working on that?
I saw the SERAP statement, and it's within the rights of SERAP to ventilate its opinion. Yes, the onus is on the security agencies to take the next steps as long as they have decided that there is something to base prosecution on. But the president does not, and I repeat, does not teleguide the security agencies. He allows them do whatever is fit and proper for them to do.
What about the NIA? Who is replacing Mr. Ayoke?
That has not been determined yet. You know that a three-member panel is to be constituted to look into the operations of that agency. And that stands to reason. If that volume of money could be found salted away, then maybe there's a lot wrong with the way the agency had been operating. So it's better to reorganize and refurbish entirely the operations of the agency. But then definitely a leadership will come.
This brings a lot to the table. For example, the issue of Mr. Maina, because the question is that whether or not the Buhari-led government has sacred cows within his ranks. And when Senator Shehu Sani said within the president, he kills corruption or handles corruption with deodorant, but outside of the presidency, he does treat it with insecticide. With all of these issues, like the Maina case, the question is, what is the president doing on a case like this? Because some people who are saying that it's taking the president too long a time to make his decision on some of these issues.
Well, Senator Shehu Sani, you have quoted, has a right to his opinion. But his opinion does not constitute gospel. It's not the law of the Medes and the Persians that can never change. It's his opinion. So you don't go quoting him as if his opinion is cast in concrete. No, it's just an opinion. And then what is the president doing about the Maina case? You know what happened? He ordered a disengagement from service, and then he asked for a report on circumstances that led into his surreptitious return into service. Now that report has got to the president. We wait until the president gets back to us. The thing about the president is that we trusted him, we voted him to be our leader, and we must maintain that confidence that made us give him our mandate.
Before I allow you go, Mr. Adesina, before I allow you go, Mr. Adesina, if you will anchor on this point, it's the same presidency that said that Mr. Babachi Lawal was not guilty of any offense at all. Now, it looks like the same presidency have been proven wrong this time around. How do you think the Nigerians will have confidence in the presidency on this same matter like this?
No, you didn't get it right. You didn't get it right. The president at no time said anybody was not guilty. What the president said then was that he was not given the right to defend himself. He said the procedure adopted for the indictment that came from the National Assembly was not proper. The president did not give him a clean bill of health. He only faulted the procedure. So get it right. Don't ascribe what the president did not say to him, please.
All right, many thanks for putting the facts right tonight, Mr. Femi Adesina. Thank you so much for your time. We'll take a breather. And when we come back, those who are in the